But today I'm going to get rid of this clutch delay valve. Yeah, I'm just going to get on with it because it's cold and it feels like it's going to rain. I'll try to get the camera set up the best where you can actually see me, but I doubt I'm going to be able to do that. Alright, so that's coming out because it's rubbish. Nobody should need that. Right, well, I'll clamp this off. Right, which way does this need to go? That needs to go left. Nice. Right, first part, that little rusty bit, that's the guy we need to get off. Cool, let's get that back on. That stuff is nasty. You don't want that on your paint, you don't want that on yourself, you don't want that anywhere. Brake fluid sucks. Right, let's get that nipped up. And then clean up the tools like mad. Right, that's tight AF. Right, let's go quickly clean stuff before everything dies of rust, pain and misery. I always like to put just a little scoosh of, if you've got like RP90 or WD-40 or anything, just something just to kind of clean it a little bit. Right, grips off, time to bleed. Let's see what size that is. Anyways, we're going to pull the camera out because, you know, thing down there, press the pedal a couple times, done. Job's done. Alright, so what's that all about then? So clutch delay valve, what does it do? So it delays the clutch. So basically in a hydraulic system, a hydraulic fluid system, you are pushing hydraulic fluid, which is oil basically, through a system. So we've got a lever at one side, which is the clutch pedal that I'm standing on right now that you probably can't tell. And on the other side, we've got an actuator, or I want to say piston, but I think it's actually called an actuator. So basically what we're doing is we're squishing fluid down with the lever. When we do that, we're pushing this piston out, which then makes a, what's the word? Makes an arm move in the gearbox, which disengages the clutch and pushes it, blah blah blah. Look up how clutches work and everything, you'll soon figure it out. Basically, BMW put a thing in from factory, so instead of it being just like, say that's the full line, like the full size of kind of diameter, let's say that's it there, that's the full size diameter pipe coming from the master cylinder all the way down to the clutch thing. They put a restrictor valve in it, which basically instead of being that big is that big. So basically this makes the fluid go through less of a pressure. Fluid dynamics, Brad, that actually increases speed. but it doesn't, yeah. So basically, it just doesn't let all the fluid go through at once. So basically, instead of being able to go whoop, like a hot dog through a hallway, you kind of just get whoop. Basically, it restricts the fluid, basically. Which is really good for if you're people are buying the cars off you, or idiots like me, and love to just come up to a junction, floor it, and just dump the clutch. So basically, it stops premature clutch wear. So if, like, obviously dumping the clutch straight up and down all the time is not a good idea. It's not a good idea. Also, it's kind of like a traction control system, a very basic one, but yeah. So basically, in the wet, if you were to just be driving along, you're in third, you're in fourth, and you need to change down the gear, so you go to third, and you just drop the clutch. There's a risk potential of your wheel speed going, oh fuck, the engine's turning at a different speed, and it just locking up and just basically sending you off spinning into the grass, wall, ditch, fence, field, whatever you want. So it basically like does the clutch's job, like your job, but better in a way. So basically it makes the clutch come on slower and more linear instead of just the dump. But why do I want rid of it? Why this sounds like a good thing, Brad. Why are you getting rid of it? So basically, we all know this car. I want it to be a drift car, but I haven't got around to it yet. So that's one thing, because you need to be able to just dump the clutch and pop the clutch and everything like that, and it helps with your drifting like that. And two, because I absolutely hate the pedal feel. There is no feel in these pedals when you're using the clutch. You think you're at the biting point, and then it moves a little bit more, and then it stalls, and you're like, fuck. So yeah, basically, I like to have like my other cars where it's just all you. It's all you, Brad. It's all you. Like, I don't like anything interfering. Like, a lot of newer cars, when you come off the clutch, they'll actually rev up the engine for you so as you don't stall it, which is just nuts to me, because I'm always a person that's learned to drive. I learned to drive in diesels, and like those things, you can just ride on the clutch all day long. You don't need to really put the accelerator on. So I've learned to kind of ride that clutch basically. But in these newer diesels, they rev for you, so I'm on the clutch, come off the clutch, feels all good, and then all of a sudden the car, van, whatever it is I'm driving, just goes because it stops revving. It stops revving and it instantaneously does it. So I'd rather have a car where everything was manual as possible. So I come off the clutch and oh, it's going to stall. I'll add a bit more revs myself. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of these controller systems telling me how I should drive a car. Basically helping me out whilst I'm driving. Like, it really messes me up, and I just can't work with them. And this little delete thing that took me probably 5 minutes, plus bleeding the clutch, it's actually made the world of difference to this car. It's, instead of the clutch pedal being hard and stiff as anything, it's so much softer. It's a lot softer, and there's a lot more feel in it as well. I lift the clutch up, say that much. I know exactly what the clutch is doing. It's engaged, but it's not fully disengaged, so I can kind of ride on it. I can lift it up there, and then it's off. It's off there. You know, I like that a lot better. I like having that feel in a car, and it makes it less of a numb feeling to drive this car. It does. One thing everybody says about it, and it does do this, is when you're shifting up and down gears, it can snap and you can woo. But learn how to drive it, and then you'll be able to get them shifts a bit smoother. One other benefit of this is also, if you're drag racing on a drag strip, if you're like smashing through the gears, basically you can't do as quick of a gear change because the clutch is coming out slowly for you. But if you take that valve out, you dump on, son. You dump on and it'll go. That clutch will be engaged. So yeah, that's the reason why I've done it. Pretty simple reason. I like the car. I like to drive the car. I don't like anything else interfering with me whilst I'm driving. That's why I don't drive with anybody in the passenger seat. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know it was a silly video. Oh, I also did the rear trailing arms. I polybushed them in this, and that's made a world of difference. I'll explain that later. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Yes, there's a tash. It's Movember. Check your bars. And check your boobs as well. Don't be ashamed to go to the doctors if you find anything that you're not sure what it is. Go get it checked out, please. Please. There's no shame. There's no shame. Everybody gets naked. Everybody gets naked. And plus, doctors have always they've seen everything. They've seen worse. I can guarantee you they've seen worse. Anyways, thank you very much, guys. Please look after yourselves.